You know this feeling. Last night, you made a promise to yourself. Tonight is different. Tomorrow will be different. You're going to wake up early. Stay focused. Stop wasting time. Stop making excuses. You pictured the best version of yourself, sharp, disciplined, unstoppable. Then morning came. The alarm went off. Your body felt heavy. Your phone was right there. And you told yourself, just 5 minutes. 3 hours later, you hadn't started a single thing. And the worst part? You're not even surprised anymore. Here's what nobody tells you about losing discipline. It doesn't happen all at once. There's no single dramatic moment where everything collapses. No explosion. No rock bottom. It's quieter than that. Far more dangerous than that. It happens in the smallest moments. The workout you skipped, just this once. The task you pushed to tomorrow, just this once. The hour you wasted scrolling, just this once. None of it feels like a big deal in the moment. That's exactly what makes it so dangerous. Because those moments don't stay isolated. They connect. They stack on top of each other. And slowly, without you even noticing, they start to shape who you are. One missed workout becomes a week. 1 week becomes a habit of not going. One delayed task becomes a pattern of avoidance. One lazy morning becomes a lifestyle. And somewhere along the way, you stop fighting it. You stop feeling guilty. You start accepting it. You lower your standards. You adjust your expectations. You begin to make peace with a version of yourself that, if you're honest, you promised you would never become. And that's where the real damage happens. Not in the lost time, not in the missed opportunities, but in the quiet moment when you stop believing you're capable of more. You watch other people moving forward. You see them building things, improving, growing. You see them posting progress, hitting goals, becoming who they said they would become. And something uncomfortable stirs inside you. Not just envy, something deeper. A quiet voice that says, that could have been me. Because you have the same 24 hours. You have ideas. You have goals. You have everything you need to start. But something keeps pulling you back. And if you go deep enough, past the excuses, past the self-justifications, past the, I've just been busy lately, you'll find the real answer. It's not lack of talent. It's not lack of intelligence. It's not bad luck or wrong timing or difficult circumstances. It's the absence of discipline. That's the truth most people will spend their entire lives refusing to accept. Because accepting it means there's no one else to blame. No external force holding you back. No story to hide behind. Just you and your choices. Every single day. Now here's where most people get it completely wrong. They hear the word discipline and they think restriction, rigidity, suffering. They picture someone waking up at 4 a.m. Cold showers. No fun. Grinding until they collapse. They think discipline means turning your life into a punishment. And because of that belief, they run from it. They tell themselves they want freedom. They want to live in the moment. They want to do things when they feel like it. But let me ask you something. If you only work when you feel motivated, how often does motivation actually show up? If you only push yourself when you're in the mood, how much real progress do you make? If you quit every time something gets uncomfortable, how far do you actually go? That's not freedom. That's dependence. You are completely dependent on your emotions to function. Your productivity, your growth, your entire life. All of it is held hostage by how you feel on any given morning. That is the opposite of freedom. Real freedom is control. Real freedom is being able to look at something hard, something uncomfortable, something you don't want to do, and doing it anyway. Not because you feel like it, not because someone is watching, but because you decided to. Real freedom is waking up and knowing, without question, that you will follow through on what you committed to. Not wondering, not negotiating, knowing. And that kind of freedom doesn't come from motivation. It doesn't come from inspiration. It comes from discipline, built slowly, quietly, in the moments no one sees. And this is the part people miss. Discipline is not built in the gym. It's not built in the big moments, the impressive performances, the visible achievements. It's built in the smallest, most ordinary moments of your day, the moments nobody applauds, the moments nobody even notices. It's built when the alarm goes off at 6 a.m. and your body wants nothing more than to stay in bed, and you get up anyway. Not because it feels good, because you said you would. It's built when you sit down to work and your mind immediately starts looking for an escape, checking your phone, getting a snack, doing literally anything else, and you stay focused anyway. It's built when something becomes difficult, boring, or frustrating, And instead of finding a reason to quit, you find a reason to continue. These are not heroic moments. Nobody makes videos about them. Nobody celebrates them. But they are everything. Because every single one of these moments is a vote. A vote for the person you are becoming. Every time you choose discipline, you vote for strength. Every time you choose comfort, you vote for weakness. Every time you follow through, you vote for reliability. Every time you quit, you vote for a version of yourself that cannot be trusted. And over time, those votes accumulate into something you cannot fake and cannot buy. Your character. Let me tell you about one of the heaviest things a person can carry. It's not failure. Failure is loud. You can see it. Name it. Learn from it. It's not even regret. Though regret is heavy too. The heaviest thing is losing trust in yourself. It happens gradually. You set a goal and don't follow through. You make a promise to yourself and break it. You say, I'll start Monday, and Monday comes and goes. You say, this week will be different, and it isn't. Again and again and again. And eventually your brain learns something. It learns that your words don't mean anything, that your commitments are negotiable, that the version of you who makes promises in the evening is not the same version who has to keep them in the morning. Once that pattern is established, everything becomes harder. You set goals, but you don't really believe them. You make plans, but you're already half expecting to abandon them. You start projects you never finish. You talk about changes you never make. And the most painful part? Deep down, you know exactly what you're doing. You know you're capable of more. You know the gap between where you are and where you could be. And you live with that tension every single day. But here is something I want you to hold on to. You can rebuild that trust. Not all at once. Not through a grand gesture or a dramatic transformation. But the same way you lost it, one small action at a time. Start smaller than you think you need to. I'm serious. Whatever you're thinking, make it smaller. Because the goal right now is not transformation. The goal is proof. Proof to yourself that you are someone who does what they say they will do. Wake up at the same time every morning. Not because it immediately changes your life, but because your brain needs to learn. When I make a decision, it gets executed. Make your bed before you do anything else. Not because it's productive, because it's a promise you kept before 8 a.m. Choose one task for the day. One. And finish it completely. Not halfway. Not good enough. Finished. No excuses. No extensions. No negotiations. Your mind will resist. It's very good at this. It will create perfectly logical reasons why today is the exception. It will tell you that you're tired, that the timing isn't right, that one day won't matter. It will dress up laziness as wisdom and call procrastination rest. That voice is not your friend. That voice has been steering your life for years, and look where it's led you. The moment you stop listening to it, even once, even for one small thing, is the moment something begins to shift. Not dramatically, not instantly, but it shifts. And that shift is everything. Here's something uncomfortable to sit with. Your habits are not random. They are not accidents. They are a direct reflection of your level of discipline. Every single day, your habits are showing you exactly who you've chosen to become. If your days feel chaotic, your habits lack structure. If your progress feels slow, your habits lack consistency. If you feel stuck, your habits are keeping you there. Discipline creates structure. Structure creates consistency. Consistency creates results. And results, real, lasting results, create the kind of freedom that no amount of scrolling or avoiding or comfort seeking ever will. Freedom to control your time instead of being controlled by it. Freedom to build something real instead of just dreaming about it. Freedom to live your life instead of watching other people live theirs. But that freedom has a price. You have to give up comfort. You have to give up the excuses you've been using as a shield. You have to give up the version of yourself that always chooses the easy way. The one who tells himself it's self-care when it's really self-sabotage. And yes, that is difficult, especially at the beginning. Because comfort feels good. Distraction feels good. Avoiding responsibility feels like relief. But these feelings are temporary. They evaporate. And what's left behind is heavier and colder and far more persistent. Regret. Regret for the time you wasted. Regret for the person you could have been. Regret for knowing that you had everything you needed, and you chose comfort instead. Unlike the discomfort of discipline, regret doesn't fade. It compounds. It grows louder every year you carry it. So this is where we land. A simple truth, an unavoidable one. You cannot escape pain. You can only choose which kind you're willing to carry. The pain of discipline, waking up when you don't want to, pushing when you'd rather stop, staying focused when distraction is one tap away. That pain is real, but it's temporary. And on the other side of it is growth, strength, and a version of yourself you can actually be proud of. The pain of regret, looking back at years of wasted potential, of promises broken to yourself, of a life half-lived. That pain is also real, but it's permanent, and it grows heavier with every year that passes. You choose one or the other, every single day, whether you realize it or not. And the choice doesn't happen in some big dramatic moment. It doesn't happen when you're inspired, motivated, or feeling ready. It happens in the quiet, ordinary moments that make up your actual life. It happens when the alarm rings. It happens when work feels hard. It happens when comfort is close and progress feels far. In those moments, and only in those moments, you decide who you are. Not who you want to be, who you are. So the next time resistance shows up, and it will, remember this. That moment is not small. That moment is not insignificant. That moment is the exact place where your life is being written. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be extreme. You just need to be consistent. One promise kept. One distraction refused. One hard thing done. Day after day after day. Choose discipline. And you choose the life you actually want.